talking about how the story had turned in such a positive way for him. And he actually got emotional talking about getting this opportunity to
lead the team again. You're right, Chris, and it breaks your heart. I mean, Ryan Phillips, a former Montreal Alouette and BC Lions in town, over there talking to his old friend and teammate, but been watching Lule in commercial, and he's just obviously devastated. Boy, the game is tough sometimes.
Four-man rush, and Jennings gets it out there. Burnham the catch. Strong-armed that one with some pressure. Jonathan Jennings got 13 more. He's on fire out of the gate.
He looks sharp. He really does. And the Alouettes are giving him a little bit of pressure. They've closed that pocket on him a couple times. That's a long throw to get it out there. And he got it there.
6 for 6, 87 yards here in this opening quarter. Back in the hands of Johnson. He'll pump it outside, breaks a tackle, and then gets tossed down by Hebert.
Jeremiah Johnson, I'd said off the top, and I really believe, is the key to getting this team back on track. And they have weapons in the passing game. And when Jonathan Jennings is on, they can throw and catch with any team in the league. So they don't have to have the running game to win. But right now, I think it's important that they do. It gives their offensive line that has struggled a chance to take off and block downfield. It gets the balance in the offense, slows their pass rush, and it gets the ball in one of their best playmakers' hands in 24.
A couple of touchdowns in the first meeting against Montreal. One rushing, one receiving. That's Labala in motion. Hands off to Johnson again. And they're getting off the ball and pushing ahead for another BC first down.
Now, he ranks third in rushing. But if you look at the numbers, and of course there's uneven numbers of games played by teams in the league as well, but he's 54 carries behind the leader, Jerome Essam, for the Calgary Stampeders, with a 6.1 yard average. I mean, that average is #1 in the top 10 running backs in the league. And yet, of late, he's only seen the ball in the last 3 games a total of 17 times running it.
Clearly, they've made a point of getting to the football more. 6 for 30 here in the opening quarter, and they draw Montreal offside, although the appeal here is that
both ways.
The Lions offensive line may have moved. Let's see what Tim Croker's crew decides after that.
Well, and here's the note for all players.
Procedure, BC number 67. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, they do rule that Hunter Stewart moved first.
Well, and here's a memo to the players. You don't have to point and try and sell it anymore, because there's a video official that watches all of these and will tell in real time the head referee who was moved first. So look at this. Watch the pointing after. There's pointing here. Look, no, you, Palmer, saying no, it's him. It's there. They're pointing back and forth. You don't have to do that anymore.
First and 15 at the Alouette 46. 6 receivers set. Short drop into the hands of Williams. Quick close. Boy. And good tackle by Jonathan Mincy on the corner.
Well, that was a quick close. Jonathan Mincy, #1 cover guy for the Alouettes right now in that back end, that back secondary. And just a couple of steps in his back pedal with great confidence, then explodes into that hit. Leaves Jennings in a 2nd and long.
Clear some cobwebs out after that one. Now Williams to 4, 2nd and 11. 4-man rush. And it's dumped off underneath. It's Shaq Murray-Lawrence. And he gets surrounded and will be stopped around the 37-yard line. A bear on the scene. Chip Cox, a couple of the senior defensive players in the CFL with the stop, and the field goal unit will come on.
What a good decision from Jonathan Jennings. I mentioned his interception issues. He's thrown 7 in the last 3 starts and didn't play the entire game against Ottawa last week. But looks completely different. Different level of confidence, different level of comfort, and that was a great decision. Take what you can, put the field goal out there.
From 44 yards out. Gets lined wide, and Stephen Logan, is he going to bring it out? He is, with a full head of steam. Here's the former Lion. Down the sidelines, it gets bumped out past the 40. Flag comes down at the end of the play. And so both teams have missed field goals here. And it remains an 8-point lead. Darian Durant eager to put a 3-game losing streak behind him. We'll have the football when we come back. Well, there's always the suggestion that maybe quarterbacks try to do too much, but Darian Durant feels like he has to put this team on his shoulders to get them back into the win column.
I do think about it. I thought about it on the entire flight here, the longest flight of my life. But I thought about, what can I do to kind of give this team a spark? What do they need to see? What do the younger guys need to see from me that could, maybe get them going or make them believe just a little bit more? So, you'll see me putting my head down a little bit and tucking the ball and running when I have to, and just trying to keep the team on the field, just keep the guys' spirits up and let them know that still a lot of football left to be played this year.
Interesting. Longest flight of his life, as he thought about how to get his team and lead his team out of this 3-game slump. And when I talk to other coaches that face him and other players on defense that will face Darian Durant, they still say the same thing, that he can put a game on his shoulders. He can win a game with his legs at times. Think about that 2013 playoff run.
Second down, out of the backfield, Terrell Sutton. And Sullivan Alabamian will catch up to him, bring him down, but the Alouettes have a first down and a drive that started across midfield after that Logan return and a 15-yard horse collar tackle penalty.
This is a nice touch on this pass. He had a defender in between him and Ken Boatwright, and threw it over his head, dropped it right in there to Terrell Sutton for a 14-yard gain.
Sutton a dual threat like Jeremiah Johnson. I think people in Montreal will tell you one of the most underrated players in the CFL. And they'll hand it off to Sutton here. And Awe there to bring him down. Not the final play of the opening quarter, so it's now 4 consecutive games without a point for Montreal in the opening quarter. Tough start for Travis Lulay, but a good first quarter for Jonathan Jennings and the Lions.
Introducing the Nissan Qashqai. The agility of a car, the versatility of a crossover. That's Qashqai.
Hi, Grandma. Sarah, when are you coming to visit? Well, actually, we're all coming to visit. What? We won Lotto 649.
The next Lotto 649 jackpot is $5 million, plus the guaranteed $1 million prize.
Sweet and spicy chili sauce, drizzled on crunchy Asian veggie mix, topped on crispy seasoned chicken. The flavors of Thailand in just a taste.
It's a CFL on TSN triple header. First, the Banjo Bowl kicks it all off.
Listen to this place. It is rocking.
Then, the Tabbies go for 2 in Ottawa.
Brandon Banks is going to score. Suddenly, momentum.
And the Stamps head to the Big E.
Scrambling, pass, end zone, touchdown.
It's a CFL triple header.
The season now heating up.
The Shaw Road to the Grey Cup, Saturday on TSN.
Double-edged first quarter storyline, an injury to Travis Lulay and a resurgent Jonathan Jennings in the opening 15 minutes.
Yeah, Jonathan Jennings looked good, went 8 for 8, looked as comfortable as he's been since returning from his injury 4 games ago. But, this game can be cruel. You take a look at Travis Lulay and the emotion that's going through him right now on the bench, and you know, there's a lot of great people in this league. He's definitely on the top of the list, a great leader, and just hate to see him go down like that after fighting back to get a chance to start for this team again.
What's the old adage? Everybody loves football, but football loves nobody, and certainly doesn't love Travis Lulay here tonight. Almost got emotional yesterday talking about how this opportunity that had presented itself might not have come to him again, but he was anxious to make the most of being the starter again, but it didn't last long here tonight. And Darian Durant taken down here. David Bernard gets home, and the University of Montreal product celebrates a sack.
Chris Greaves, the left guard, got pushed right into the back or into the lap of Darian Durant. I mean, he got driven back, number 57 here. Didn't see the defender that was giving him the push here. Might have been Menard, but he just falls right into him. Basically cuts his legs out.
Beatty back for his second attempt. First one off the upright. This from 48 yards out. Now at 84% on the season. And this one is good. Alouettes on the board. 8-3 BC. Well, a big day of Canadian Football League action tomorrow. Shaw Road to the Grey Cup continues with a triple header, starting with the Banjo Bowl. Rough Riders Blue Bombers. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific on TSN 1, 3, and 5. Then it's the Tiger Cats coming off their first win of the year against Greg Ellingson and the Red Blacks at 6 Eastern. And we'll be at Commonwealth for the Labor Day rematch. Darrell Walker joining Adarius Bowman, returning to the Edmonton Eskimo fold against the Red Hot Stampeders. And Wally Bono looking up in the standings and knows his team can't fall any further behind. Lions opt for accepting a kickoff here and getting the hands of Chris Rainey on the football. And Rainey trying to hide behind the blocking and does work his way beyond the 30, dropped the football, and it's been picked up by Greg Henderson. I didn't hear a whistle. Henderson into the end zone. Well, they're marking it at the 36. But let's see if this is under review.
Yeah, it will be. And I don't think there's any question. I think Jacques Chaplin's already got his challenge flag in his hand. You only get one now. And it looked to me like Rainey went down. He was on his back. When he hit the ground is when the ball came out. Now let's take a look. Still in control there. Knee and elbow down, and then the ball comes out well after it.
So no challenge from Chapdelaine. DJ Lalama with the tackle, and they start again on the ground. That's been a regular occurrence here tonight for BC. Trend early is to run on first down with Jeremiah Johnson.
Sometimes it's just that pounded right in the middle. I mean, that had nothing at the line of scrimmage, and yet the entire O-line drove the pile 4 yards.
7 for 35. He had only 34 yards on 12 rushes against Montreal in week 3, and this play does not get off.
Procedure. BC number 50. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
Right guard Kirby Fabian flinch first.
That just eliminates or takes away the advantage gained by good first down production. 4 to 5 yards on first down opens up your playbook, and a penalty basically erases that gain.
J.S. Blanc checks into the Montreal defense. A former fullback now playing And stand-up defensive lineman on the rush. Jennings in trouble, and John Bowman gets home. 6th sack of the year, and number 118 in his brilliant 12-year career.
Oh, he just speed rush off the edge and beat his man, Kelvin Palmer, around the corner. Watch John Bowman in a stand-up position, how speed, little inside move, then he bounces, drops the right shoulder, and gets his hands on the jersey of Jonathan Jennings. The elder statesman, as I mentioned, 34 years old, and yet he's the guy that gets double-teamed up front more than any defensive lineman for Montreal.
He's 35. When we talked to him yesterday, he says, I'm 30 whatever. Big boot, Logan back inside his 30, bubbling back, trying to get away from Buddy Jackson, who continues in pursuit. That's a great hustle play by Jackson on the punt cover team. There is a flag down on the play. We'll get to that when we return. A 55-yard punt by Long coming after John Bowman gets home for yet another quarterback sack.
Micah Awe is the new starting linebacker for the BC Lions, taking over for Tony Burnett. Was a DI, designated import, all season long for all 10 games, but was second in the league coming in special teams tackles with 15, and that special teams work got him a start here tonight, the Lions linebacking core.
Legal block pushes it back to the 15. Play action fake from Durant. Flag comes down, and Durant takes a hit around the 20, and there's Elamimian. Couple of the great vets on a collision course there. Solomon Elamimian and Darian Durant.
Well, you heard the clip in the first quarter, Darian Durant saying on the plane, thinking about how he was going to spark this team, and maybe it was going to be lowering his shoulders and running. Now, doing that against this linebacking core and against that particular player, it's taking a bit of a gamble.
You mentioned 2013, the Western semifinal.
Major foul, chop block. Montreal number 51. Half the distance from the end of the play, it's second down.
A chop block against Christian Matt, and it's back at the 10. That 2013 Western semifinal, the Lions led, and in the fourth quarter, Durant rallied them back. He had 97 yards rushing in the game, and in the fourth quarter, 3 carries, 76 yards. So 2nd and 15. And the draw play, Terrell Sutton off the right side. Skips over 1, and Elamimian will meet up with him around the 23. And just short of the first down.
CFL's tackle leader and defensive play leader got there quickly. I thought Terrell Sutton had a chance to get to the first down marker here. Good acceleration off the draw, beats the D line, and Awe gets blocked downfield real nicely. It looked like Sutton had a chance to move the chains, but 56 closed quickly.
Elamimian with 15 tackles the last time these two teams met. So Beatty back around his 10. Rainey at the 43. Still looking to get Chris Rainey loose, and finally escapes. And bumped out at the bench. Tackle on the play made by the long snapper Martin Bedard, but a 20-yard return for Rainey. Good field position for Jonathan Jennings when we come back. Invictus Games coming up later this month. Lee Jones is with 2 local BC athletes who will be competing.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris. With Krista Sagan, who will be competing in sitting volleyball, as well as powerlifting, and Elizabeth Newman, who will be competing in archery, sitting volleyball as well. And it's going to be a fun time for both of you. I know it's going to be exciting. Krista, I'll start with you first off. Just what does it mean for you to be representing Canada, representing the Royal Canadian Navy as well?
Honestly, it's always been a dream of mine to participate in an international sporting competition, and even better to do so representing Canada and representing the Canadian military. So it means a lot to me.
What does it mean to be able to keep having sport in your life? I know you were a basketball player playing in CIS basketball.
Yeah, so when I was injured, I lost a lot of that, and so throughout my recovery, I've been able to get back into sport. So it's really been a big motivator for me to, keep going and to know that my injury doesn't define me and that I can do anything that anybody else can do.
I got to ask Elizabeth a question because she's standing right here. Elizabeth, just what is your message to fans in Toronto to come on out here at the end of the month and watch what you guys can do?
Basically, the Canadians, we're a bunch of misfits, but we're going to kick some ass and make Canada proud still.
All right, thank you, ladies. Good luck at the Invictus Games in Toronto. Sure to be a good time for sure, and hopefully Canada performs well. Royal Canadian Navy and Canadian Army. Guys?
Well, we wish them well.
Yeah, I would say heroes, not misfits.
Yes. Catch by Shaq Murray-Lawrence, and a first down here for the BC Lions. Again, the Lions start a drive or a straight first down on the ground with Jeremiah Johnson. And a 16-yard pickup, first down at the 29. This time they fake Johnson. It's in the hands of Arsenault. And Arsenault, another Lion first down. DJ Dozier there defensively for the Alouettes.
I didn't mention this when talking about the importance of Jeremiah Johnson, but this is the fourth thing that the BC Lions benefit from. This play action. That's why Manny Arsenault is wide open, because Dozier, number 44, jumps in to try and tackle Jeremiah Johnson and leaves his zone open.
Lions into the red zone, the #1 red zone team in the CFL. Quickly into the hands of Burnham, and he'll drag a Alouette tackler down around the 5-yard line. Another first down.
Chip Cox coming off the edge. This is a great read, and right now Jonathan Jennings, Chris, is seeing it. This is straight blitz from Chip Cox right here, and he's coming off the edge. Watch out, number 11 gets there, and they throw it right where he just left to Burnham. Burnham sits down right where Chip Cox just vacated.
And it's an interesting term because for 3 weeks, Jonathan Jennings wasn't seeing it.
Exactly.
Look sharp so far here in the opening half in relief. First and goal. Jennings to the end zone, just out of the reach of Arsenault. That the first incompletion for Jennings on the night.
Was 11 for his first 11 throws. On his 12th, just missed Manny Arsenault on that seam route. Arsenault looked like he wanted to get a penalty call from Brandon Stewart.
Up against the former